All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined today by the guitar assassin of Alice Cooper, Mr. Ryan Roxie.
Thank you,
Ryan,
Esteban.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So this is the first day of the tour.
Yeah, first day of the tour, and this is one of my first like in-person interviews of the tour. They're always fun to do. Usually, we've talked before
Yes.
on the podcast where it's done virtually. It's kind
Yes.
of good to see you face to face.
Absolutely. I am so looking forward to this show tonight. So much momentum has been built because of the previous leg y'all were on, which was with Chris Angel.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Well, two different shows going on this year in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
The show with Chris Angel, Alice Cooper, Chris Angel is called Welcome to Our Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And that show is basically a combination of Alice's music and all the best of Alice's music, all the best of Chris Angel's illusions.
Yes.
You combine those two together, you'd think that someone would have done it at this point, thinking, okay, magicians and musicians, and let's put them together. And it hasn't been done. And here we are doing it in Vegas. So we have a limited run all throughout the year of those shows. And then when we go out and we do the tour like we're doing tonight, beautiful theater, majestic theater here in San Antonio, it's a different show called Alice's Attic Tour, which is actually the name of his radio station, his radio show as well.
Yes.
So it's basically all the creepy and ghouly things that are up in Alice's attic through his years of playing rock and roll. So I feel that we have a good combination with both the shows. You can see illusions, and then of course when you come out this show, you're going to see a longer set, different songs, and you're still going to get all those classic Alice bits and shock rock imagery that you're used to seeing over the years.
And how is the set? You mentioned a longer set. How has the set list changed since?
It's not that it's longer. I think they both clock in around 90 minutes. It's just different song selections. Chris and Alice got together and combined, okay, what songs we want to put, what works best for the illusions. And on this Alice's Attic set, there's a bunch of songs that we haven't played in years that some of them we're bringing back. And, it had been a couple of years that we had played I guess it was called Too Close for Comfort. That set I called it the People's Court. It was like a courtroom setup. I don't know if any of the hardcores got it, but I'm not sure that everyone that was looking at it is that a courtroom or is it not a courtroom? No, there's no mistaking now that this is a attic.
An attic.
There's a lot of cool imagery with it, and that set list was different from this one. And this one we're actually it keeps us on our toes, and we're always adding songs too. That's another thing about Alice. He'll say, hey, what about this song? Should we add it into the set? And then we'll play it and see if it works. If it works in front of the crowd, then it goes usually in the next night and the next week and so on and so forth.
How was rehearsals for this tour? Was it?
It was easy because we've been, there's the core songs that we have been working on for years and years. Like you're not going to go to an Alice Cooper show and not see Poison or not see Schools Out and 18. The classics, the hardcore classics are there. So we have those in our backbone. But we also have a new guitar player that's in the band, and we're excited for her because she's been learning all these songs and really practicing them hard at home.
Right.
And her name is Anna Cara. Okay. And she's making her Alice sort of Alice's Attic. She's making her Attic debut tonight, and we're all really rooting for her. And she just did the Chris Angel show. She killed them, and so she's great.
And y'all had Orianthi before?
The first female guitar player that I played with when I joined the band back, when I joined up again with the band. I was touring with him since '96, off and on with Alice.
Right.
I took a break when I moved to Stockholm, Sweden, and lived there for a bunch of years. And the opportunity came up 6 years between 2006 and 2012. I didn't tour, but then there was an opportunity in 2012 to come back, and Orianthi was playing guitar in that lineup. And then Orianthi stopped doing it, and we got Nita Strauss. And Nita and Tommy and myself have been the guitar trio for a long time. We've been there for like 10 years now, and that's why it's a different switch. We've had a couple guitar players fill in throughout
Mhm.
the entire process, because we had Kane Roberts for a tour as
Right.
well when he came in and really stepped up. Gilby Clark, our good friend that who I
Hmm.
played with way back in the day, he came out and helped out. But I think that with Anna, she's our third female guitar player that I've played with, and it's really impressive. She's got just one of those, some people are just gifted at it.
Yes.
I worked for like 20, 30, 40 years to get vibrato that she has, like,
Naturally.
that she just has naturally in her fingers. So, you know, you got to just sit back and just respect the magic that you hear on
Yes.
stage every night from her, and it's really cool to play in a band with all the musicians that I've played it. Alice, he always puts together
Hmm.
top-notch musicians, and
Yes.
so I've been very lucky to play with the best drummers, the best bass
Hmm.
players, the best guitar players, and I
Hmm.
feel, maybe it's a little biased, but I feel we have the best front man in rock and roll.
I I think the rest of the world will agree with you.
That's good.
So tell us what was rehearsals like? What
Mm.
was everyone excited to get back out on the road? I
Absolutely.
mean,
Yeah, we
was
had a break from last year on the Alice's Attic tour,
hmm
and then we went right into the Chris Angel show. So we learned that whole show. That was hardcore.
hmm
That was like literally just, 8 to 10 hour days, maybe even longer sometimes.
hmm
And then, once we had that sort of in our backbone and sort of became second nature, the Alice's Attic show wasn't hard to just
hmm
add a bunch and change around some of the arrangements that we've done. So this one's been quite nice. We just came off a week of rehearsals,
hmm
ended in a sort of a live jam at Alice's annual Coop Stock that he
I
does.
saw that.
So we just
Yeah,
played. Some rock and roll songs, a short mini set, but it ended there. It was a great way to end the week of rehearsals and then come here and start the actual tour.
that's fantastic. I uh I don't know if we discussed it or went into it last time around when we talked, but yeah, I put 22 plus years in the music business as a tech,
Nice.
stage manager, guitar tech, security, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
paid my dues. So I
You're a road rat, man.
am a road rat.
Honestly, the Alice Cooper show would not roll unless we had the best crew in the business, and
Absolutely.
these guys
Yeah.
make that show happen every single night. And you think, oh, the bigger stages that you get, the harder it is. No, it's just more people to help set up. But at the same time,
Hmm.
that core unit that we have, we travel now, I think, with a group of about, I think we're up to about 40 people,
Yeah.
4 buses. We got 4 trucks, and we're just, the crew's making this show roll and set
Mhm.
up every single night, then tear down and set it up again. And trust me, we have a lot of three in a row shows
Yeah.
coming up on this tour. A lot of three in a rows.
And a lot of people don't know that uh, the amount of work that it takes to put on a show every night. And then when everyone's gone home, you got to tear it all down again.
Yeah, and then drive all night
And drive all
to
night.
set it up again the next night. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hats off to the road crew. We actually have a song that we brought back from an older Alice Cooper album, on the newest band album called Alice Cooper Road, which is
Hmm.
that we brought back and did a cover of Road Rats, which is it was
Oh,
just sort of a dedication to the Alice Cooper Road crew.
to our brethren out there. So what's new for this tour? How long is it going? Because last year this guy was on the road. It seemed like because I was following him everywhere, trying to get him on the podcast. But when we finally locked him down, he had just finished literally a whirlwind tour, and it seems like y'all were everywhere.
Well, I mean, we've been able to go a lot of places last year. It's not really slowing down this year.
Hmm.
We started in January, late January was it? Those were
Hmm.
the first Chris Angel shows, and from what I'm hearing, it's going all the way into November. So
Yeah.
there are breaks. We do get breaks, which is good. I know that Alice is doing some Vampire touring.
Hmm.
Hollywood Vampire is a band that plays with. Glenn plays drums in that, and Tommy obviously is a Hollywood Vampire. Tommy Henriksen,
Hmm.
great guitar player, and they also have Johnny Depp and Joe
Joe
Perry
Perry, yeah.
as the guitar trio in that band.
Hmm.
So it's so they'll do some shows in Europe. I'll get to do a break. It's not a clean break because I
Hmm.
do have some RYAN ROXIE shows coming up. I
Yes.
do have some solo stuff, and I have some guitar clinics that I'm going to fill in those gaps with. And I'm actually planning a really cool on one of these breaks. Something that's really cool. I haven't really talked about it to anybody, so this might be an exclusive, or maybe by the
Yes.
time it comes out, it's old news. I don't know,
No,
or
it'll
maybe by
be.
the time you're watching it, it's 15 years old. But my band that I put together way back in the day called DPM, Dad's Porno Mag. We put an album out 30 years ago this year.
I remember
So
that
it's
band.
our 30th anniversary of the release of the album. So I was able to get in touch with the original recording
Wow.
lineup, and we're all going to do a show together at the Viper Room coming up in May. So it's very exciting.
I believe Tony Ferguson, who a while back was the head of A&R for Interscope,
Okay.
he told me about Dad's Porno Mag.
Well, then he obviously passed on us because we didn't get signed.
He saw it. He thought it was great.
Well, then
He goes, "You got to check out this band."
he could have signed us. Then. That's really well. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Ferguson.
I
You know, 30 years later. No, but we're excited about this show. It's a classic venue, Viper Room.
yeah.
Dad's Porno Mag is just one of those bands. I say it's the best band you never heard. And one album, and we did it. We put it out. There's a lot of great songs on it. A lot of
Yes.
great memories from touring on that album.
Yes.
So it'll be good to get back in the room with Will Efforts on bass and Mike Fasano on the drums.
Hmm.
And Mike Fasano has gone on to play in quite a big psychobilly band called Tiger Army. So if there's any of you
Wow.
Tiger Army fans out there that want to come and support Mike Fasano on the show, it'd be great. It's in May. It's at the Viper Room, and you know what? Just go look ryanroxie.com, tour dates. You'll figure it out. It'll be all there.
I really want everyone out there to know about Ryan's solo stuff. He's got some great videos out there on YouTube already. Ryan, tell us all about your hit songs, I'm calling them.
I don't know if they're hit songs in that sense, but I did put out a lot of new music not a lot, but I put out 2 new singles this last year. I put out one called Better Than You.
That's right.
And I also put the newest is called Fight Another Day.
Hmm.
So all these, and I have a lot more stuff that I've recorded that I'm just going to release, when the time is right, when it feels right, when I have enough for an album, the entire album will come out.
What was the inspiration for Better Than You?
Better Than You? That was a little bit about doom scrolling, to be honest with you. Just back in the day, my generation, we called it channel surfing.
That's right.
It was the same sort of thing where you just kind of get caught up in this endless thing where everyone's kind of telling you, whether it's through a screen or whether it's through a television, that you're not good enough or you should do this in order to be that. And my whole thing was a little bit defiant, like, no, you're not better than me. I'm better than you. So we have a cool video that's out with that. Erwin Longre, one of our longtime guys that does graphics and he does videos. He's a musician himself, guitarist, and he designs a lot of the guitar picks that I throw out into the audience every night. He is really great at putting videos together, and he put this one together, Better Than You, and he also put out just recently the Fight Another Day.
Fight Another Day,
which is more of a tribute to the 8-bit video world. So I don't know if you guys know about Super Mario Brothers or Donkey Kong or any of Centipede, Pac-Man, all that just like really gritty old school video games. I am an avatar in that, and the object of me is to get to the stage while avoiding the big ragu security guards that are chasing me around. So it's a cool video to check out. And we had some live performance peppered in there. We were able to get Trent Tiken, who played who actually played drums on both songs. He did some live stuff on that. Bridget West, who played in a band called New York Loose, she came and guested on some vocals, killed it. Keith Weir played from Black Eyed Sons, some great keyboards he lent.
Oh wow!
And so, and the longtime producer Robbie Miller just came in and helped out, provided the bass and the mix basically that you're hearing.
I played Better Than You for my fiance while it was a Sunday, laying in bed. I said, hey, check out Ryan's new video. We absolutely fell in love with it.
Oh, thanks,
immediately.
Man.
And
well, you caught then a lot of those 70s references from those TV shows, and that's what that was about. So I always kind of do a little bit of a throwback in the stuff. I'm, perhaps it's just my love of growing up in a great musical time, which I did, which was the 1970s. It's like I sign a lot of stuff. People ask, why Roxy 77? Well, just Google all the music that came out in 77, what album releases were in 1977. You'll see basically all my biggest influences had either their debut album or one of their best albums that year. It was just a very special time for me, and a very special time for rock and roll in general.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? Saturday Night Fever. You got Queen's epic album around that
News
time.
of the World.
Yeah.
Yeah. News of the World. You had
Kiss Alive 2.
Yeah, Kiss Love Gun. You had Kiss Love Gun on that, and you also had Styx Grand Illusion, which came out in 77. You had Fleetwood Mac Rumors.
Yes.
You had Eagles, Hotel California. Even though Van Halen 1 was recorded or released in 78, it was recorded in 1977. Yep, so you also had Star Wars, so a lot of cultural things, so.
Yeah. And, yet you can't erase what he was just saying, folks, that you have to scroll now to get information on your phone. But the way we did it back in the day was you had to go to your local store, and if you couldn't afford the Circus magazine, you read it right there at the counter. But Circus magazine, Hit Parade,
Kerrang!
Kerrang! For sure.
That was the European version, I believe.
And Burn in Japan. I love that magazine.
Rip magazine was great as well. I remember that back in the day. So yeah, thank goodness, for legacy media in that sense, because it gave a lot more mystique and.
That's correct.
You kind of have to look for the good in it now, because now you can find out everything you want to know about your band. If you latch on to a band, you can get into communities rather quickly. They all support the band, and that's what I do with my All Access program. It's like if you're a hardcore Owls fan, and then you kind of like get more into my stuff and my music stuff, and you become a hardcore Ryan Roxie fan, I do a thing called Roxy's All Access Pass, and it is a bunch of that, sort of like a Reddit group, but like so much more. It's a private live streams, and it's daily content that I'm posting up that I don't post anywhere else, and you kind of get to a feeling of what it's like to be on the road with me during one of these tour cycles. So if anyone's interested in that, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to subscribe to his All Access Pass, because it is well worth it. Tell folks, Ryan, how they can subscribe.
It's really super easy. You just go to ryanroxie.com. There's a big, banner right there saying All Access Pass, and you can click on that and read all about it. Like I said, there's a lot of live streams, every single day content that I put out that I wouldn't normally do. You get to see what it's like backstage before the show, after the show, on the bus, all the little things that you might be wondering about. What's it like to be on tour, with a band like the Alice Cooper Band? You'll get to find it from my perspective, and you'll get to find out a bunch of things. Plus, there's a bunch of giveaways, and every single year I have a little special. Like last year, we gave away these to the All Accessors. It's a red, white, and blue wristband, which I, again, a 70s type of nod to. I remember it from the Harlem Globetrotters. I remember it from Bjorn Borg, who, ironically enough, was a Swedish tennis player, but he wore the red, white, and blue headband.
That is correct.
So we gave these away as a special gift. But again, check it out. Guitar picks giveaway.
Mhm.
I go out and I try and meet all the accessors, and it's kind of a really cool community to get into and be a part of. So again, if you're interested, RyanRoxie.com, big old all access banner right there, and you'll pretty much self-explanatory.
And when can we expect more music from
More
Ryan
music?
Roxie?
Well, we should see. I mean, there's.
I know you're busy right now.
No, we're busy, and we got a lot of like 3 in a row, which means 3 shows in a row, then 1 day off. 3 shows in a row, 1 day off. We were lucky enough to split this one in because it's the first day of the tour. We do have a show tomorrow night, but then we do have a day off. But
let me ask, is that by design or?
Yeah, it's called work as much as you can during this finite amount of time. Yeah,
I love that. Great work ethic. I mean,
well, no, you know what it does? It keeps us getting tighter and tighter as a band, especially with Anna being a new guitar player in the band. We need a lot of reps, and I think it's just going to help us, get tighter and tighter for this year's tour.
The muscle memory, you know.
Always.
Yeah.
So and it keeps us from spending our per diems.
That's right.
I go to catering instead of Starbucks for $10 a coffee.
I was back in the day. I was getting $35 a day per diem, $500 guaranteed a week, and I was.
Hasn't changed much. I hate to say it.
I was gonna say, has it gone up?
Rock and roll. Rock and roll. It's not reflected inflation rates.
I was working for the legend, Mr. Mark Reale from a band called Riot out of New York.
I love it. Yeah.
And Swords and Tequila, all that.
I remember Riot very much so, man. Wasn't the lead singer like he became a plumber? That was his story, right?
Guy Speranza, yes, yes, in Florida.
Yeah. Probably made a shitload more money in plumbing than he did in rock and roll. I know every plumber I know drives around in a Maserati.
He wound up catching some kind of weird chemical disease from his industry.
Oh shit!
And wound up passing away from that. Next singer we had was a great guy named Rhett Forrester, and that is where they really hit the touring circle with opening up for Kiss, Vandenberg, those kind of deals. Yeah. So Rhett was.
It's all in my wheelhouse. I mean, I grew up in the Bay Area, so all those bands would come around. They'd play like Keystones. Mm-hmm. They'd play, larger venues, Concord Pavilion and stuff like that. But I saw a lot of cool rock and roll bands that were on the up and up at the Keystone Berkeley, which was just like a small club, maybe 200 people max. Kind of like had a big metal pole in the middle, and I remember seeing Motley Crue on their first album onto the Two Guys for Love tour, and saw Loudness from Japan, which is another one of those.
Akira.
Yeah, there you go.
I love Akira. Yeah.
Saw them at the Keystone Berkeley. So and I was lucky enough to play there a few times myself. Sort of grit my teeth and get into the circuit in the trenches. Up in the Northern California rock scene before I moved down to Los Angeles.
Your formative years.
Yeah. Well, the years you're making mistakes, and it's okay because you know what? You make a mistake and you live to fight another day.
That's
and you
right.
Play another show the next night.
We're
still doing that in a sense. I mean, everything is about learning from the mistakes of rock and roll, and hopefully not repeating too many times, and then having that opportunity to play another rock show. And like I said, we're in a very fortunate position. There's not a day goes by, not a month goes by, not a tour goes by where I don't realize just how thankful and how lucky and I am to be doing what I'm doing. So thank you, Alice Cooper, and thank you to everyone that's watching right now, because you in one way or another have been supporting over the years. So I appreciate it. 100%. Even if you don't support me, you support rock and roll, and that's everything.
And the that unfortunate club, the 27 Club, such great talent there. A lot of folks.
Happens, man.
Yeah,
happens. We're actually the other night we played. We brought back a little 27 Club tribute to Kurt Cobain. We played Teen Spirit.
Oh, wow!
Right in front of Schools Out, because Alice was thinking that, hey man, Smells Like Teen Spirit was like a rebellious, like high school song that reminds me of a lot of that generation's Schools Out.
Hmm.
So why don't we bring it back to this new generation that maybe not haven't heard that song or hasn't had the same impact, as a tribute. And we played it there, and who knows if it's going to be in the set when you see it somewhere on the road in the next couple months, because Alice really liked the song, and a lot of people seem to like the way we did it.
How did it? I was going to ask, how did it go
Went off
over?
great. Went off great. I mean, if you listen, yes, Nirvana was a trio, but if
Yeah,
you listen to the actual recording, there's a lot more than just one guitar on it. And luckily, we have three guitars to cover all those different parts.
all the
So
different parts.
it's cool.
That is amazing, especially the unexpectedness of seeing it in a great band like yourselves, and then hearing that come out to the monitors. It must have blown their minds.
Yeah, yeah. It was. They didn't expect it. You don't put two and two together with Alice Cooper and Nirvana, but at the same time, Alice Cooper has always been rebellious,
Hmm.
and he's always been that quarter sort of like
Yeah,
sly
yeah,
in the back, leather jacket wearing, sort of, you know, you don't know
yeah.
what to actually expect. So that's a good way. It's a good song for us to play that takes a little bit of a detour from what we're known for normally.
And Alice Cooper has such a strong history here in San Antonio, the Alamo City. Uh, what draws Alice here? What do you think it is?
I don't know. It's we At this point we're very fortunate to have
Hmm.
a good hardcore base throughout the world.
Yes.
And there's people that do travel us. We're becoming, you know, a little bit like the Grateful Dead without all the patchouli and all the tie dye. But we have people that travel for us and
Yeah.
come out. And I know there's a lot of people flying into tonight's show. And
Hmm.
in fact, we just flew with a couple that were already in Phoenix at the last show, and they flew to this show, so they wanted to see this one. So it's great. We love the fans that travel, but we also love the hometown crowds as well, and that's why we go to them year in year out. I think it's constantly touring that
Yes.
kind of that does that.
I
And
don't know any band out there right now that's like y'all.
well, Alice Cooper is
And there is
very
nobody like
hardworking.
Alice.
He's very hardworking, and again, we're very fortunate to be able to tour year in and year out. I mean, he's I joined the band in 1996 for a 1 year
Hmm.
tour. He and I told you I took the 6 year hiatus when I lived in Stockholm,
Hmm.
but and there was a couple other things I did Slash and took a year off there. I had my first wife and I had our son Lennon, took a year off for
That's
that.
a great name.
And yeah, well, Lennon, and obviously, I wanted to call our daughter McCartney, but I got outvoted on that because,
That would have
but,
been
but
awesome.
yeah, but Natasha Grace is a great name too. So her
Yes.
name's Natasha Grace and Lennon. But during these breaks, Alice never stopped touring. So he's toured every single year, even when the dark times came and
Yeah.
COVID and all that crap. We still toured the beginning of that year before the world shut down. We were in Australia, when all this talk was happening, and we flew back. We're supposed to have a 2 week hiatus and then go back out on tour in Canada. And lo and behold, it was a year before we toured again, but it was still in 20, 1920. We're 2021, 1921. That would have been a long time ago. He's been touring 2021, but we toured every single year. Alice has since that 96 tour, so we're happy.
And are you getting a lot of golf?
Every single day. Yeah, yeah. In fact,
Yeah.
yeah. In fact, I'm going to have to cut out here just a little bit to go clean my clubs up for tomorrow, because
No.
we had some golf earlier today in San Antonio, and we'll be golfing tomorrow in Dallas. So,
Fantastic.
dude, you gotta love the schedule, because that is basically an Alice Cooper a daily schedule when we're on the road. It's golf in the morning, trying to be first off 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. Uh, then we come back, rest a little bit, do some interviews like this. Alice does a ton more of stuff like that. He's always talking to the press.
He's
Little
a great
nap.
golfer too, huh?
Oh, he's the one that taught me. He's the one that taught me for sure. Little afternoon nap, sound check, rock show, get on the bus, play some poker just to wind down. Hit the hit.
Texas Hold'em, right?
Well, you know what? We play even games that are a lot crazier than that. But That's a whole nother podcast. But then we go hit the bunks for a little while, sleep, then wake up again and start golf.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great and only one like him,
Thank you,
Ryan
Esteban.
Roxie.
Thank you, Esteban. I appreciate it, man. You know what? And I appreciate you supporting it.
Oh my God, I love the hell out of you. I love Alice Cooper. I've been a fan of his. Had the pleasure of working for him a few times back in the day. But just please follow All Access Pass Ryan Roxie. So go to ryanroxie.com and sign up, please. You won't be disappointed.
And you can always just go to ryanroxie.com to get all the links to my Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media platform is your favorite. I think we have a profile up on there. So
yes,
go check it out.
We're going to post it too on this podcast episode as well. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Ryan Roxie. Ryan, thank you so much.
See you, man. Everything. Enjoy the ride. I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm looking forward to you seeing it.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to some of you guys coming out to a show very, very soon.
Absolutely. All right, folks. I will see y'all up the road. I love y'all. I will forever. Bye.